Hey, welcome to another edition of OK Boomer, the podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. If you're watching us over on Twitter or Facebook, please consider joining the family over at Creators Outlet on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/C/Creators Outlet. Hit that subscribe button, it's completely free, and ring the bell for all notifications and check out all the back episodes we have of various shows on the platform. This is Will.
This is Thomas.
We're back in the virtual spinner rack this week, taking a look at the totally Seinfeld edition of Adventures of Superman from John Byrne, Jerry Ordway, and Janky.
Yeah,
Jinkies.
yeah, it is pretty Seinfeld, and like we were talking about a while ago, this was just a completely random book. I saw it in that stack of Adventures of Superman books in the dollar box, so I'm like, hey, let's read this one, and here it was. But the thing is, like I said, I've been reading a lot of late '80s, early '90s. Jerry Ordway, Dan Jurgens, John Byrne, all those guys. Kind of like to me, they were all superstars that aren't getting the love they need anymore. Uh, it's great. What's funny though is, even though you say this is the Seinfeld version of Superman, you got to admit this is right after the relaunch when Byrne let everything down,
Mm-hmm.
and really Byrne and Ordway are still working hand in hand in this issue to make sure that they lay out everything so that you can see how Superman's going to go forward. It's moving definitely away from the Silver Age.
And
Uh,
it's there's just I called it the Seinfeld. Well, obviously Jerry Seinfeld's a Superman fan. Has a lot to do with his upbringing in New York and the whole history of Superman and all this. But it's this book is full of a bunch of random conversations,
yeah,
like you know, like a Seinfeld episode.
yeah.
And I know because my girlfriend and I have been watching Seinfeld uh, like
Seinfeld's one of the
almost
greatest
every
shows.
day. Like it's like a mini like marathon every day. Be like we don't when you don't want to put on anything that you have to pay like really close attention to.
Nope.
When you're just hanging out, you're having dinner or like a snack and chatting about the day and whatever's going on, and you're like, well, let's put something on, and that we can like belly laugh to while we're talking and just hanging out and stuff.
Yeah,
And
it is
and
it's
when it's
background.
time to pay attention to stuff, uh, it's currently not time to pay attention to anything because we're all waiting for Cobra Kai season 4 and Mandalorian season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett season 1
That
and
looks good.
her and I are currently jonesing for season 2 of Sweet Tooth. So
Oh, so what was Sweet Tooth was on? Which one?
Netflix.
Sweet Tooth's on Netflix. Is it any good?
Oh, it's great.
Really?
Like I don't remember the book anymore because I read it so long ago, but
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I read the book not too long ago, and it was good. But I think anything Lemire does is really good.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I couldn't think of his last name for the life of me, and it was like people are writing like random posts like you know best comic book writer and list your top 10 favorite comic book writers, and I was just gonna type his name out and copy and paste it all the way down, and I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is his last name? And I'm
what is
like,
his name?
I couldn't remember his damn name, so
Sweet Tooth was good. I've got his. I've got. I picked up May's book, but I haven't started reading it. Um, and I got. Of course, I'm reading his. He does Black Hammer too, right? Am I losing it?
Yeah. That's his universe. Yeah.
That's his universe too. And I'm reading Black Hammer, Age of Black Hammer 2, the second volume or whatever it is. With the Black Hammer's daughter.
Yeah, I just downloaded from the review copy. I just downloaded volume 1 of his horror anthology his horror series from Image there.
What was that? Because I don't remember that one.
The Barn.
The Barn? Okay.
It's about the barn, but it's not called The Barn.
Okay.
I will find out in a second because it's going to bug me.
We got to get you some ginkgo biloba today.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get notes. I wasn't expecting to talk about Jeff Lemire.
It happens. It's a comic book show. We can talk about Jeff Lemire for a few minutes before we talk about Superman.
Yeah, it's like oh, he kind of looks like Superman. He's got the Superman glasses.
Does he?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I just call him up. Jeff Lemire. He wrote Hawkeye, Batman and Robin, Ascension, Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan was good.
Gideon Falls. That's what it was. Gideon Falls.
Oh, yeah. Gideon Falls. Okay, yeah, I've never read it. I've heard of it.
Image just released volume 1 of it. So you got Gideon Falls, Black Hammer is all his, Old Man Logan. What's this one? Oh, Swamp Thing, Green Hell, he wrote. That's a one of their.
That's the new 52 Swamp Thing, right?
It's not. It's the what's the black whatchamacallit line DC has?
Oh, Black Label.
That's the one. It's a Black Label series, yeah.
I think I may have it. I don't know if I've read it. I'll have to look that one up. I usually buy all the Swamp Thing stuff. I got to finish reading the Swamp Thing that's going on now with not Alec.
Sweet Tooth. There's this one just lists Sweet Tooth Book 2 Deluxe Edition. These are all like Kindle editions, so all that stuff. He wrote Moon Knight, Volume 2, 2016 to 2017.
That's a character I'm trying to get into.
Maze Book, Underwater Welder.
Underwater Welder?
Yeah.
Is it any kin to Dog Welder?
I don't know. Descender Volume 2, Primordial. Justice League Trinity War he wrote.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think I read Trinity War.
I think the only thing that he wrote that was kind of blah was the and it might have been okay because I don't remember, completely hating it. But he wrote the New 52 Constantine.
Really? Okay, I'll have to go back and check that. I didn't read the New 52 Constantine.
New Constantine Volume 1, The Spark and the Flame. It's a Constantine box set. Justice League Dark, whatever. Title: Liar, Cheater, Manipulator. John Constantine. That's right. So he's done like so much stuff. Berserker Unbound, he wrote.
Yeah, that's the one with the guy from I don't say caveman, but the barbarian in the future.
Yeah. Frog Catchers.
Sounds like a really exciting book there. Frog Catchers.
Yeah. It's probably one of those you really don't know you want this book, but you do.
Until you read it.
Yeah. He wrote Snow Angels, which is really good. And that was that was like the Amazon, special line of comics there, like the what's the Amazon comic book subscription thing?
Oh, Kindle.
No, not Kindle. Kindle's like to read anything. They have a comic book. Amazon has their own comic book subscription thing.
Yeah.
And it's they have an originals line, and there's a bunch of people like him and Scott, what's his name from DC that used to be at DC, has a bunch of stuff on there. Matter of fact, I've been trying to hit up one of the people to get an interview with him. He also did Skull Digger, which was really good. He's written a bunch of Bloodshot for Valiant, like in recent years.
I may have read one of the Bloodshot version trades.
He wrote The Question for Black Label.
Oh, that's right, because he did it. It was him and Dennis Cowan did the art.
Yep. He did Future's End for DC, which was pretty cool that I liked.
God, that Future's End was a long time ago, though.
Oh yeah, well I still got it because it was a long time ago, and I am a long time ago. That's Black Hammer. That's More Descender. Justice League Dark. He wrote.
Yep.
Volume 2, The Books of Magic for Justice League Dark. So he wrote like the original Justice League Dark.
Yeah, when they were finally named, not when, because we did the actual Justice League Dark.
The first appearance, yeah.
Was the first appearance, and they're not even named Justice League Dark, not until later.
No, and a lot of them aren't even in it, so.
No, there's no Detective Chimp, there's no, I can't even remember who else. Wonder Woman's not even really in it. So a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he wrote, and I need to get this one because I'm on a Teen Titans kick now again.
Again?
And it turns out all those Teen Titans I thought I had, I don't have any of them.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what happened to my collection. It walked out of the house on me.
That was the Perez Teen Titans stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be worth 20 times what you paid for it now.
Yep. He wrote Teen Titans Earth 1 Volume 2. Like the DC hardcovers.
Oh yeah, like the Superman Volume 1 and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've got a few of those.
I picked up one, I think, but I haven't read it yet.
He wrote Volume 1 of Thanos Returns back in 2016. Essex County. Royal City.
So the one he wrote then is before Kate's and the Cosmic Ghost Rider, right?
Oh yeah, thank God.
Hey, I got Cosmic Ghost Rider. I was reading the Kate's Thanos story run.
Do you know what happens?
What?
Have you read it all?
I've read it all, yeah, up until the end. Up until I don't know if he did another set after that. I read it up to the end after, Cosmic Ghost Rider is, the Punisher, and Thanos gets his powers back after he goes to the well of souls or the well of gods or whatever, and he crawls in there and manages to come back out alive.
Yeah, I was just talking about the bullshit where Cosmic Ghost Rider is just the Punisher. Yeah, and he got these powers how? That's stupid, Donnie. Fuck off.
Yeah, he hasn't. I don't think he's shown how he got his powers, but yeah, it's just a Punisher. I was like, this kind of doesn't make any sense.
Jeff also wrote Batman Killer Smile for Black Label.
Really?
Yeah. He wrote, and this crossover was awesome. The Black Hammer Justice League crossover.
Yes, that was good.
He wrote that.
That was really good, actually.
He's got stuff in the Green Arrow 80th anniversary 100-page edition. He's got a story in there. He's also got one of the books out of Black Hammer is called The Unteens, Unteens.
I haven't seen that one. I read was it Andromeda out of Black Hammer, and what was the other one I read? I read two of the Black Hammer spinoff stories.
And he's writing another new book for Image 2, which is super hot right now, which is the Silver Coin.
See, I missed that one.
It's another horror one.
Yeah, I picked up May's book, so I missed the Silver Coin. He wrote, I think he wrote too, because I enjoyed it, the Colonel Weird.
Yeah.
Like 5-issue miniseries.
Yep, because everything out of Black Hammer he writes.
Okay, so no, he hasn't farmed any of that out then.
Not yet. No. He's written a bunch of Thanos stuff because I just came across. This is probably out of that volume. Thanos 11, 10, 9. Yeah, so this is like he did like a whole run of Thanos.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Family Tree. I never read Family Tree, but I guess it was like it's really slow to get into, but Guardians of the Galaxy New Guard Volume 3 Civil War 2 he wrote. I mean, you could buy his current entire like library for everything he's done up to now, and
pretty much every superhero written.
And like he did the Terrifics he wrote for DC, which I thought was cool because it was like Mr. Terrific, Plastic Man, Phantom Girl. I'm like, how did you pull a Legionnaire into modern day? Well, it's been done before, so I can't really say anything. Royal City. He wrote Justice League United, Animal Man, Hit Girl.
That's right. He did write Animal Man.
Yep. Hit Girl in Canada.
Hit Girl in Canada.
He wrote, what's this? Light up. For New 52, he wrote Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, which was so cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, is that the Frankenstein from, oh God, the Frankenstein monster that they showed in Phantom Stranger?
Probably.
Okay.
All kinds of Animal Man stuff, and Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image. Some months he's got a book coming out from. He's had it where some months he has a book coming out from just about 5 major publishers all in the same week. So it's like you just be like all over the place.
He's working his ass off.
Yeah, he just belts them out, and I mean, just about everything from him is like, it's like if you see his name credited on a book,
yeah,
it's like you should probably buy that book because guaranteed it's going to be good. Like if you don't like horror stuff, you can tell by you pick up and you flip through the book. This is a horror book. I'm probably not going to like it. So if you don't like horror stuff, you're not going to like half his stuff because a lot of it goes like a little dark. But there's all the superhero stuff, and I mean, even if you're like not a comic fan, you could read Gideon Falls and like love it and be like, man, I wish this was just like a regular prose novel. I would enjoy it more because I wouldn't have to look at pictures. And like,
I don't know. I like looking at the pictures.
God, so do I. Although I did buy Playboy for the articles.
Sure you did.
And Penthouse. And okay, so Adventures of Superman.
Superman 440. You start off with this cool ass cover with Superman getting the lightning, catching the lightning, but you actually said you didn't like this cover last week. It looked a little cheesy.
I mean, I wasn't crazy about the background, and I wasn't crazy about the way the lightning looked.
Yeah.
I was like, eh. I've seen lightning and the sparks coming off him done better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we both have, but yeah. But it's like I said, this just kind of, I don't know, it stuck out to me when I was at the antique shop. Now, when it opens, there's our, John Burns, scripter and co-plotter, Jerry Ordway, penciler, co-plotter, and then Janky is the inker. Um, who is the editor here? I don't even see the editor listed. Oh, Mike Carlin, editor and nervous breakdowns. Okay. Don't lie, he's nervous. Okay, I see it now. So he's having issues. But so the story opens. We've got a cool splash page of Superman fighting someone who I can't remember his name, but we know he's a professor at Star Labs. So he's.
I think this is Professor Emil or whatever his name is. He was in like some of the Superman cartoons, and he was like a regular go-to guy for Superman for a while.
Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, probably who it is. I just
And
can't.
his character ended up like on the last couple of seasons of Smallville too, I think. And then they turned him into a villain because what else are we going to do with him?
Well, they turned him into villain on the cartoon, kind of. But it's one of them things, kind of like Luther, and we still haven't done the Luther trade we were talking about. Where Luther has.
Hey, Simon.
Hey, man, what's going on? But Luther is that, Luther is a bad guy, and he could save the world if he wanted to, but he's too busy, thinking that Superman's making everybody, look up to him, and nobody wants to stand up on their own and everything else. That's kind of what Emil happens in the comics. But yeah, so Superman and the Professor trading fisticuffs, and Superman lays into him, and he's like, you're going to have to do better than that. As they're going on, and we find out he's actually got a force field belt on. So that's how Superman's not knocking the hell out of him.
And I look at it and I'm like, did he invent this? Or did he do a time travel and steal this off of Brainiac 5?
Oh, Brainiac 5.
Because Brainiac 5 has a force field belt. Of course, he's in the 23rd century. Looks like an older version of Olsen. Maybe his real dad. Oh, damn, Simon. This is an older version, but it's back when Byrne and Ordway was still working on Superman when they split the title names back in the, what was this, the 90s?
No, dude, this is like late 88, I think it is. We'll go back. Yeah, 88, May of 1988.
Wow. I was still supposed to be in high school, but I was working at the comic shop instead.
Well, that's what I told a guy. I talked to the guy at the comic book shop the other day. I said, I've been buying all these dollar books from the mid to late 80s, early 90s. Freaking Firestorm, Superman, Booster Gold, and reading them. And they're all freaking great. And they're $1. And nobody's wanting to do anything with them. I mean, comic books are supposed to be read, people. But yeah, so we find out that he's working on this force field, and he's like, "Hey, you can't touch me. You can't even hurt me, but I can hurt you." And he hauls butt and punches Superman, who he knocks him flying. And then we realize he knocks his head off.
And Superman's standing there, and it's just a robot. And
yep. But now, do you remember back in the 70s and in 80s, even through the 90s a little bit, where Superman had the army of super robots that all looked like him, so that he could be, essentially, the robots went out to solve crimes and save people and stuff. So Superman looked like he was everywhere.
Yeah, and even I remember an episode of the Super Friends where Superman, like, it was when Firestorm was on the team, so it was like superpowers era,
Yeah.
and Superman was dead because Firestorm mistakenly changed something that was harming some red rocks that were harming Superman, and he accidentally changed them into kryptonite and gave him kryptonite poisoning.
Now, I didn't watch that one, but if you go back and watch the old Superpowers, talk about Superman and all that, watch the old Superpower show. I watched the one with Darkseid in it the other day, and Apocalypse doesn't have the fire pits.
Of course not.
They like, okay.
They don't want to encourage kids to go out and make fire pits. And now, what's everybody doing that used to watch Superpowers? Going in their backyard, making a fire pit, sitting around and getting drunk.
Getting drunk.
Damn, skip
Dang
it.
it.
Well, I remember further out from this episode, from this issue rather, going forward, there's more with, he says here that it's not a good idea, not going to be able to do this, and he scraps it. But further in the future, he has Superman robots patrolling the fortress in case anybody is able to break in.
Yes.
And the Justice League gets waylaid by one of the Superman robots in the fortress. But he has when he goes off planet, he still has one super robot that he programs to be him while he's off world, so nobody knows he's gone.
Nobody knows he's gone. Exactly. And that's a lot of the things, especially now you read comics, everybody's all like, Superman is, Batman's so much smarter than Superman and all this and everything else. If you go back and read the older books, Superman and Batman are a hell of a lot closer than people think now. I mean, Superman was no mental dumbass, He was not a slouch. He had the super robots, everything.
A lot of times they seem to write Superman like he's Captain Marvel, the mind of a child in the most powerful body on the planet.
Yep. Yeah, because they can't think of anything else. But so the robots. He picks up the head, and he's like, it's not going to work. But it's it's great to be here, and he's like, hey, thank you for taking an interest in my work, and. Then he says that I can do. He says the least I can do, considering all the trouble you got into, consider Lex Luthor from the last issue. And Superman leaves, and this is where it gets a little weird. So, this panel makes him look kind of evil, but Superman flies off, and he's like, "I've got a date with an angel," and he's flying through the sky, and. He's flying around the lightning. He's like, I feel like a kid again. And then this is from our cover where he gets struck by lightning.
Yeah, it looks better on the interior page than it does on the cover.
Yes. And it really doesn't bother him at all. He gets struck by lightning, and he essentially just brushes off the static electricity and flies through the clouds. And he's still talking about, I'm getting mushy and everything else. But he's not even paying attention, and he damn near takes out a passenger plane.
Mm-hmm. Yow!
Yep. Yeah. He's like, I've got to pay more attention. I could have hurt somebody, which kind of lets you know that this is after Crisis, and Superman has come back into his own and is kind of new here still. So he's like, I've got some, before I go to Smallville, I've got some business to take care of. And where's his business? In Gotham
City.
So he takes off flying.
Yeah, this is like a guest star. This is like a guest star every 3 pages book.
Yes, it was. So Superman takes off to Gotham, and then it flashes us, we're at the hospital here. And we find out that, here's Jerry White's son. Mm-hmm. Jerry White's kid and this other guy who they've gotten hurt last issue in Suicide Slum somehow.
Yeah. So I know who this is.
Okay, you have to tell me because I
was reading. So Jerry White is the young Jimmy Olsen looking dude, but with longer
Yeah,
hair
yeah, the
and
orange haired guy.
more of a punk. Um, young whippersnapper. Um, the guy there is a professor and also the original gangbuster.
Oh, so this is the original Gangbuster.
This is the original gangbuster, and
So for
gangbuster got busted.
so for the people who have been reading Superman for a long time, I think we talked about this last week, know that a couple issues from now we discover that Gangbuster is still active in the city, but it's not this guy, it's somebody else.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're
Yeah,
talking.
no superpowers. He was just dressing up as gangbuster and using his wits and combat training and everything to even the odds because back then it was a big thing with Morgan Edge and Intergang, and
Yep,
it was a huge storyline for years and years and years. It was
it
it was
was.
pr- it was subtle enough. It was good, but subtle enough that it could weave in and out of anything else going on in the Superman Family magazines. So
Well, see, that's the thing that Superman used to have that he doesn't have in the new books that really kind of gotten away from is Superman was the original soap opera book. I mean, he really was. He's got all these
mhm.
other people around him because he can't get hurt. He barely ever gets hurt, and you have big issues with Superman. But everyone else around him has issues, and they all lean on him to kind of help figure out what the hell's going on. And they've taken that
Mhm.
away. This that's like when they kill Ma and Pa because hey, we don't want Superman to have any tie to Earth. Oh, great. So why the heck am I going to be on this damn rock then if I have no tie to it? Let me take my little lady Lois, and our kids can be all right. He can go join the Justice League or whatever the hell he wants, so we go somewhere else.
Yeah,
But they've gotten rid of that. But yeah, so here's our original gangbuster then, and we find out his back has been broken. He's gonna be
yeah,
paralyzed from like the waist down, and he can't do anything. Oh, and then here is when we see the new pre post crisis Lois Lane. This is the extra bitchy version
yeah.
because she walks in and sees Jimmy's kid, or she be Jerry White's kid, and blows his ass off. I thought I'd see you here. I'm tired of you were, listening to all these lectures and everything else, and he's trying to make some kind of amends for whatever he got Jose into, and Lois is like, you could have figured that out before he got his back broken. She just basically slams his ass and walks off. Um, and then as she slams off, it our trays back, and we go to Gotham City. Dude, Batman looks awesome in this book.
Oh yeah.
Very, very, very early looking Batman. I mean, I like the ears are cool. The cape is really cool. But yeah, so um, it comes up. Superman arrives to see Batman on top of, I guess, Gotham Cathedral is what it looks like. Here's the note I was going to bring up because you can see it at the top. Halfway across the nation from Metropolis. Okay, so are they doing anything with geography in this book? Because I always thought Metropolis and Gotham were like Philadelphia and New York. They were like a freaking, an hour drive or 2 hour drive.
No, I think Gotham is representative of Chicago, and Metropolis is supposed to be, the DC's version of New York. So
Okay, so they're saying you're thinking that Gotham is actually Chicago. Okay,
yeah, so like half nation away. Chicago's in the Midlands. New York's on the East Coast.
okay, all right, I'll go with that then. I thought they were a lot closer. So, here comes Superman, and Batman is on the top of the church, and he's like, "Hey, I don't like being idle. There's crime that needs to be stopped and everything else." And Superman shows up, and he's like, "Hey, I'm glad you met me like this. You got the job done." And we find out that Batman gives Superman a book that says scrapbook on it. He says it's quite simple. The scrapbook you asked me to examine is a veritable treasure trove of information. Whoever owned it certainly wasn't trying to hide anything. Uh, and Superman's like, okay, but he said I didn't really discover anything in it. The only information I obtained from it, stock paper, scrapbooks, no criminal fingerprints or anything. The only thing I was able to come to an absolute fact about from this is that you're Clark Kent. Batman just comes out of the damn blue and says, "Oh, you're Clark." Um, and we see Superman's taken back. He's like, "Hey, maybe I shouldn't have gotten the world's greatest detective to look at this scrapbook then. I should have got somebody else to do it. We should have asked Elongated Man, I guess." And but now Batman is cool. Batman is cool. He's like, "Hey, I didn't invite Robin along because Robin's already burdened with my secret identity, and I didn't want him to be burdened with yours." And Superman says, "Okay, yeah, no problem. I really appreciate your discretion." And Batman's like, "Hey, it's personal concern, personal courtesy, professional courtesy. I won't tell anyone else. I have no interest." And Superman's like, "Hey, no problem. I'm sure you won't." And he flies off. He's like, "Mr. Wayne."
And Batman's like, goes, "What the hell? I wasted all my time lining my cowl with lead."
Yeah, he wasted his time. He's like, he knew immediately who I was. Thanks. And Superman just flies off. Now,
He's like, who else living in Gotham could afford to fight crime on his own?
Yeah. I thought that was a good little scene between Superman and Batman.
Oh,
Batman
yeah.
was drawn great. The writing was really good. And like I said, it was cool.
And now we flip further and we see a Morgan Edge broadcast from WGBS and Old Man Luther.
Old Man Luther.
Well, look at him. He's all paunchy and everything.
What's he trying to say?
He's drawing Luther like a real dude, like us.
No hair.
No hair. A suit from Big and Tall. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So Luther's watching this documentary about the robot Superman that fell out of the sky and everything else, and they're talking about it. And Luther he's like, I just don't think Superman's a robot. Kind of cuts the broadcast off while he's thinking. And he calls his secretary in. He's like, "Hey, bring me all this information. The Sawyer file is what he calls about." And he's like, "I'll get time to look at it." And he looks at it, and he's like, "Oh, well, this is all very interesting." And of course, we don't ever get to see what Luther finds is interesting, because on the last panel, we see Superman flying over a highway, and as we discover, he's going to Smallville to see his wife. Not his wife. See his mom.
I know what he's discovered, because they had put into play a metahuman task force in Metropolis, because since Superman's home is Metropolis, all the other metas that think they can get a one up on Superman, of course, have to go and operate Metropolis, because that's where the money is.
Yep.
Maggie Sawyer gets recruited to be the head of that task force. And the dirt he finds on Maggie Sawyer, I believe, is nothing nowadays, but back in the early 80s, if you were a female captain of an elite unit in like New York City, you might not want it to be known that you were a lesbian.
Oh, is that what it is? Really?
Maggie Sawyer is a lesbian, and she's also the girlfriend of the Second Question, aka former Gotham City police officer Renee Montoya. Yeah.
Really? Okay. See, now that's.
Ooh, we learned shit.
Yeah. That I didn't know that. I really didn't. I may have forgot it. I don't know. But yeah, that's wild. Yeah, that they would put that in there. Damn, it makes me want to read some more Superman. It's a good thing I bought a handful of them there, wasn't it?
But see, I never had an issue with that. Like Montoya, we kind of didn't know one way or the other. Montoya might have been by, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
matter.
just like I didn't have a problem with Batwoman, because we knew from the start when they created Batwoman that that's how she was.
Gay. Yeah,
she's gay. That's it. It's like,
okay. And this actually, though, with you talking about that, this actually shows that this has been an issue in comics for a long time. And back in the 80s is when, kind of the veneer of the, I don't say comics code was starting to come off, and they were really breaking out. This is our Dark Knight, all that stuff. They were getting a lot more adult. They knew that more adult people were reading the comic books, so they wanted the more adult stories. That's why they could put something in like that.
Yeah, and DC was doing their tagline switch to comics aren't just for kids anymore, or something along that line.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was DC Comics aren't just for kids anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, I had no problem with Batwoman. Matter of fact, I loved the original Batwoman run. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And
the Williams run, right?
Yeah, the Williams run was amazing.
Yeah.
And I liked Maggie Sawyer as a character. She was a badass. I'm like,
well, see, and that's the whole thing. We talk about the whole Superman books. Part of the stuff that's missing from the stuff now. I understand this is I pulled this literally come out of my butt. We're 13 pages in, and there's 15 characters in the book, and everybody's got a damn fleshed out story. We know what the hell's going on. Superman is flying by panels. It just doesn't happen anymore. Now it's just one giant ass fight. We miss everything.
Mm-hmm. Like every other book, right?
Yeah.
And it's either one giant ass fight, or this book is how we're turning all these characters gay,
or some other,
or some version in between.
We're changing them somehow.
Just as long as they're not cis white males. That's because they're all toxic. Fuck off, DC.
Dang it. Again. So Superman's heading back to Smallville, and he's flying over the city, and we find out that he's managed to tuck the actual scrapbook into his cape.
See, I didn't know he had a secret pouch to shove stuff in.
Yeah, in the cape. It's inside the front of it.
Well, in the back of the cape to him.
Yeah, back of the cape to him.
The inside.
Yeah, when he closes it, it'd be on the inside.
Yeah.
Where he keeps like
it's like it's like the secret jean jacket pockets.
Yes, he does. It's good for his heart. So he's flying, and then he sees on the highway with his look. They don't even tell you what it is. You just have to know what it is. His telescopic vision that somebody is about to do a shooting gallery at McLane's, the hamburger joint.
Oh yeah, I go to McLane's all the time.
McLane's, yeah.
Yeah.
A whole lot of something. I can't see the rest of the tagline. So, when the guy's got his gun, and Superman's like, "Hey, I'll swing down and stop." The guy shoots a damn shotgun at Superman, and he catches all of the buckshot.
Yeah. Ting, 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 ting.
Yeah. He throws it away, and the guy's like freaking out. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. And Superman's like, "Hey, I'm not going to hurt you. I've really got someplace to be. I don't have time to take care of a low life like you." He splits the double barrel in half, and then
ties him up
ass to the car with it. It's like the police will get you.
Ties him to the window frame of his own truck.
Of his truck, and just leaves his ass there.
He goes, the authorities are coming to get you. But in the meantime, the buckshot had sparked a fire on this tractor trailer full of gasoline that's heading right at the restaurant.
Yep.
And Superman has to rip the door off because it's jammed from the heat. It's all swole. And he rips it out, gets the guy out of there, and flies the thing up into the stratosphere.
Yeah, he just picks it up.
Yeah, because this takes place after the awesome Man of Steel miniseries where they revamped him.
Yes.
And
the Byrne miniseries is so good.
Oh yeah. And he flies the entire tanker truck up into the atmosphere with his no air to suffocate out the flames. And I was thinking, I go, yeah, that's smart writing for the simple fact that if he used his breath on it, he would just fan the flames and the thing would explode.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of like the easiest way. I mean, he just takes it up there. The only thing I thought about that's kind of a little silly is when he brings the truck back into the atmosphere, could it burn up? But then if you read the Man of Steel series, remember how Byrne was saying that anything Superman kind of touches gets like a layer of that invincibility kind of is slightly transferred to the item. Mm-hmm. So that's how the truck would have survived the re-entry into the atmosphere. So yeah, after the fires come back, he brings the truck down and drops it off. And then after he drops it off, he flies away. He's like, thanks, I got someplace to be. And now we flash to another military base somewhere where there is, it looks like Supergirl.
But it turns out to be a Supergirl robot.
Yeah, it looks like Supergirl, but it's a robot. And they're going on. I can't remember what happens with that later on, with that story. But
neither can I. But one of the guys was being like really kind of creeper. It's like
right here.
Yeah, she's hot. I'm like, dude, it's a robot, and if it's got like strength, it will rip your appendage off and bang it into someplace else with a ball-peen hammer.
Damn.
No, shut up.
So Superman flies back to Smallville, and he shows up. Now his cape's all kind of tore up, and he's like, hey, there's nobody around, so let me land. He gets there, and of course he goes into Ma, and this is the classic Ma. She's got her hair up still. You can tell.
My only issue right now is like, yeah, the scrapbook is a little singed, but his entire cape is gone. Like where he would tuck it in would be he'd like lift his cape up here and he'd tuck it in here. That part of the tuck in is gone.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, but it's a comic book, so we have to deal with that.
Yeah, we have to deal with it. Although whatever she's cooking awfully smells good.
Yeah, because he's I smelled it all the way out.
Because it's a comic book.
Hey, it's rhubarb pie is what she's cooking. Rhubarb pie, which I have never had rhubarb pie.
Really?
Never.
Are you sure you're a Southerner?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think we eat rhubarb pie in the South.
Bless your heart.
No, dude. we have like two kinds of pie in the South: pecan and sweet potato.
Okay. Ooh, I'm down for sweet potato. There was
you don't like pecan pie? Did you say yuck?
Yeah, I don't like pecan.
Oh, we're gonna have to end the podcast now.
Okay. I go. You give me a slice of hot sweet potato pie with some vanilla coffee ice cream on top of it and some Cool Whip. Well, some real whipped cream, preferably. And there was a soul food place up here that I used to go to all the time. They were so good. Uh, and I stopped going there, and shortly after I stopped going there, they went out of business. And I think
See,
their
look how
biggest fault
important you
was
were.
one of the cooks, the cook that used to. They had one person that used to make their pies,
Really?
and they quit.
Oh yeah,
So there was
that's
nobody
hard.
there that knew how to make legit sweet potato pie. Had no they had no clue. They just had like the pit guys. And I'm like, I go, yeah, can I get a slice of sweet potato pie too?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't
Thing
have
is,
that anymore. I go,
yeah, sweet potato pie was dude, it's like sweet potatoes. Was it sweet potatoes, molasses, eggs, a little vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar? Yes, almost a pumpkin pie.
which is probably why I like it. I just had a slice of pumpkin pie earlier.
Damn it. So rhubarb pie. I'll have to look into that. But yeah. So Superman shows up and he's like, "Hey, Mom, glad to see you're good. You know, not quite. I am going to get something to eat. Hey, take care of this scrapbook for me." And he hands her the old damn burn up ass scrapbook. Now she's like, "Oh God, I've
I've
been
been
looking
looking
all over
everywhere
for
for
that."
that.
Yeah. So he's like, "What?" So he says, "This is your scrapbook." She says, "Yeah, it went missing, and I didn't know where it went. So now, who the hell got Ma's scrapbook?" And they sent it to Clark Kent on purpose, and then he sent it to Bat. You know, he gave it to Batman. Superman did. This
The
is
only person that would be able to get into Ma's house and get the scrapbook to send to Clark would be Lois. But at this point, Lois doesn't know Clark is Superman now with the
yeah.
with the crisis, with everything being redone and the whole thing. I don't think she knows, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah, because he hasn't revealed himself. Because remember the big reveal on that cover of Action where he's taking his glasses off,
Yeah, that's
and all of a
in.
sudden she gets it.
Yeah,
And
finally. That's
dummy.
like the what is it? The is it the Lois and Clark TV series? You remember the old one with Dean Cain?
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the old one with Dean Cain, Lois and Clark, the TV series where they've got the Legionnaires. One of the episodes where they come back from the future, and they're like, look at Clark Kent and look at Superman, and you can't tell they're the same person. We've always discussed this in the future. Were you really this dumb?
Yep.
Damn it. So he tells her, he says, "Hey, look, Mom, just put this away. It's really dangerous. You know, you may not want to keep a scrapbook anymore." She's like, "But I just want to try and keep, keep mementos of your exploits, son." He's like,
Because I'm so
"That's
proud of
great."
you.
Because she's proud of him. Um, and he says, "Hey, my cape's tore up." And we find out that Mom actually sews him regularly new capes for as Superman. So she's got
Hmm.
a new one. He's like, "Hey, thanks. I got one of the capes. I got to head back out home to Metropolis." But lo and behold, he doesn't go to Metropolis. He flies down, and of course, he's thinking about all kind of stuff, Luther and everything else. And then he sees Wonder Woman down there. So he flies down. He's like, "Wonder Woman, at last." And then on the very next page, we get to see Superman and Wonder Woman lock lips.
Which is funny because it's a revisit of this in the like the new 52
Yes.
where they release that they do a spoof of the old romance comics that DC used to do back in the 50s and 60s. They do a true romance number one, and it's basically this, you know, they're flying up in the he's flying and she's gliding, and they're just like up in the air making out.
Well, now here's the thing. I read it years ago, but I'd forgot about it. And at the bottom of this page, it's like, "Hey, next in Action Comics 600, the Superman Spectacular 50th anniversary, Superman's celebration kicks into high gear." I went and read Action 600 after this. I don't know if you've read it, and that's the one that continues this whole super kiss and everything else.
Yeah,
It's awful.
It's awful.
No, it's awesome. It's
Oh,
freaking incredible. Dude, it's all Byrne. The art's by Byrne. Everything the art's by Byrne and Perez. Byrne does all the layouts and the rough pencils. Perez finishes the art and inks it. It's insanely good, and it's Superman, Wonder Woman, the Olympians, all versus Darkseid. It's an awesome book. Because I mean, I don't know. I ain't read a Superman like this, and made me want to go read some more in a while. And I thought it was damn good.
really?
Oh yeah, really. Dude. I mean, I like the old Superman stuff. Even though this was the Seinfeld episode of Superman.
Yeah.
So we got, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3.
And it happens across the state. I mean, you can go as far back as the Puritans.
Really 4, 5, 6, because that's going to go somewhere.
Roosevelt's had camps in the area.
That dude don't count. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there are 14 main characters in this book, and it's not even, and it's 22 pages.
Why we gotta replace it? You want to remain in the room? It's gonna sell. Well, you know it.
Hey, Doc, how are you?
How are you, sir?
How's Pariah in Mud coming along? That's Doc's book.
Pariah in Mud.
Yep. He's working on it now. I will make an appearance in a barroom scene in there.
Sweet.
My first comic book appearance. I feel like I almost have to order like 30 copies so I can autograph them myself. That's me. That one panel, page 37. Yep. Right there.
Page 30. Of course, now after he...
see, I got it wrong.
Blood and Mud.
Pariah, Blood and Mud, yes.
Of course, after he draws you in there, you know, he like technically will owns you.
Yeah. Yes, back at 30 times.
Back at 30 times.
I might have to save up for a year though, Doc, because CG books at $25 a pop. I don't know if I get that much money.
How many pages is it?
I don't know, Doc. How many pages is it going to be? That's a good question. So I was thinking of going way back.
I think I signed up for the mailing list for his book. I'll have to go check.
Yeah. Over 50 pages.
Over 50.
Yes, I'm
And
on the
it's
mailing
hardback?
list, Doc. I'm on the mailing list, and Thomas is on the mailing list. I get your updates once a week. Yes, over 50 pages. Most of the indie like CG books are. It's basically like buying a graphic novel. They're usually like 50 to 80 pages. There's one out there called Death by John Joe Ball that will be coming out next year.
Yeah.
That is over 300 pages.
Good Lord.
For $25.
Well, that's not a bad price.
Oh, not
That's
at all.
That's a lot of comic for $25.
Yeah. It's all black and white, but still, it's his artwork his line art is really sick.
Well, that's the whole thing. The really good line art shows.
Yeah. Quaff's book is 500 pages too.
Holy Jesus! Really?
Shotgun Samurai
is what it's called, and it's 500 pages.
Yep.
Crap.
Yeah, they're huge.
So you're talking about going way back since I've been having us read mid '80s stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna go further back. We're gonna go to Charlton Comics.
Oh, the greasy roots of comics, huh?
Greasy roots of comics. We're gonna go to Charlton Comics, Captain Adam 83.
Okay, close this out so you can um, put it up there so we can see what Captain Adam 83 looks like. Because I have no idea what Captain Adam 83 looks like. I know it looks like a comic book. I'm telling you, the damn peanut gallery's always got something.
I know, right? Captain Adam 83.
Yes, sir, I sure am.
And let me throw that up there. Oh yeah, we had this discussion. You guys are very close proximity to one another.
Yeah, about 3 hours, I think it is.
Okay, so maybe not that close.
Yeah, I think he said he lived in Griffin.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh crap, Steve Ditko.
Captain Adam 83, the first appearance of Ted Cord, the Blue Beetle.
Really? Okay, I thought he. Damn. Okay, this would be a good read. Is it all Ditka?
Yep.
So it's an all Ditka issue. He probably wrote and drew it too, because that's all he did back in the day when he was working for Captain Adam.
The defeats of Captain Adam, plus the all-new adventures of the all-new Blue Beetle.
So it's a 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask you, here's a question for next week, then you can go ahead and get that in. Actually, Doc, I'm not in Hiram. I'm in Hazelhurst. I live in Jeff Davis County. But what the hell is the difference between Captain Adam and Dr. Solar?
The publishing rights.
That's it.
No, they're totally different. Like Captain Adam was a military experiment, kind of like Steve Rogers, which reminds me, I saw a parody shirt today. That it was a mashup shirt. Captain Rogers spiced rum. So it's got Captain America with his leg up on a keg, advertising rum. It was funny.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, I thought. Dr. Solar is just a regular. It's like a scientist, though, right?
He's a scientist that basically. It depends. He had like one origin when he was in the Valiant universe, which is my favorite rendition of him. But now, what is it? Is it Dark Horse that has him?
I'm not sure. I thought it was still Valiant.
No. When Valiant relaunched, they lost Mangus Robot Fighter and Captain Adam, and I'm like, you lost like two of the most pivotal things in there.
Dr. Solar, yeah. I've got some of the old was it Gold Key Dr. Solar books, and
here we go. Steve Wooster, the Star Wars guy. Solar is man of the atom, whereas Adam is a captain. Well, this just proves Steve Wooster is actually smoking crack every day. Bow to the crack pack.
he knows all about atoms and rocks. Damn it. But yeah, I know that's the thing that gets me is I was talking with my child the other day. We were talking about them. There's so many characters that are really, really similar that you sometimes go, what in the world? She, of course, brought up Man Thing and Swamp Thing.
Did you see the Man Thing figure from Entertainment Earth?
No, I didn't know they were doing one.
You need to go look up like the Marvel figures, and and check it out. I saw it on the Entertainment Earth, like, daily story thing, like Instagram or Facebook,
Okay.
whatever
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was. And I was like, whoa, that thing looks crazy. I actually put it on my story. Because I asked my friend Chris, because he was never into, he's like you, like diehard Marvel guy, not anymore, like back in the day, like classic Marvel guy. And he never got into Swamp Thing, but he was a big Man Thing fan.
Well, I like Man Thing and Swamp Thing. It's weird, but they're both have. I mean, they're similar origins, but they're both completely different characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you read some of the whereas Swamp Thing is kind of a horror book and slash superhero book, and then it morphs into other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man Thing is just straight horror. Some of the early Gerber horror, Gerber books with Man Thing in it are just terrifying. I mean, they're rough with, all the people killing each other. And, the one that I read that really got me is the one where the guy throws the baby over the bridge and Man Thing finds the baby. I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is a 70s comic book, and we're talking about infanticide and stuff. Not Lobo infanticide, but regular infanticide.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. The figure looks awesome. I was actually thinking of getting it. I was trying to point it out to my friend Chris, because he's outside of being like a big comic collector, he's an action figure guy too. So
Really?
But, he went and showed me like all his action figures one day in his, as he calls it, his trophy room. And I was like, ah! He goes, oh, that's right. You don't open anything.
Yeah.
All his shit was open on display. I'm like, who the hell dusts all this? He goes,
Who dusted all?
I go, who dusts all this stuff? He goes,
He
goes, usually me. I go,
Yeah.
Really? He goes, yeah. I go, must be some life. You don't have to work. You can just stay up here and play with your toys and dust them off every day.
How often does he have to dust them all?
I go, how do you dust them? He's like, well, the smaller 6-inch the action figures get dusted with a Swiffer, and the statues I just use one of those keyboard like little vacuum things, and I just go over it with that. It sucks it up into the bag. I dump it in the trash and go back. He goes, takes me like an hour. I go, what about the Hot Toys ones downstairs? He goes, we shall not talk of those.
The one really expensive figure I've got is actually I put it in a plastic case.
Dust still gets in those plastic cases.
Really?
Not as much, but yeah.
I'll have to look. Dang it. Thanks for ruining that for me. All right, I will get that Captain Atom 83.
From Charlton?
63?
83.
Charlton 83. Let me write it down. I will get it and I'll send it over to you. And we're going to be back next week, even though it's a couple days before Thanksgiving.
Christmas!
I was waiting for her to come back at you. Yeah.
This is what you get after 23 years of marriage.
You're lucky you're not getting a coffee cup to the back of the head.
Get your holiday straight.
Get my holidays straight. But, yep, I'll get it. And then
all I know is I have nonstop trucks every Thursday from the turkey to the beginning of the year. Leave me alone.
Exactly. It's been rough. But I'll get it, and we'll get back next Thursday, same time, same bat channel.
Same bat time, same bat channel. We want to thank everybody for coming by. All the lurkers that were in and out this evening, and all our talkers like our buddy Doc and Steve Wister. And you can check out Doc. Doc's got his own channels. He's got a couple of channels that you can follow him on YouTube and follow him over on the Twitterverse. And Steve Wister, you can follow him on Twitter, and you can also catch him on the Good Stuff Comicsgate the Good Stuff Comics Gator YouTube channel. He does a show over there with Mr. Good Stuff and our boy Darren Wagner, D-Wag. And it's entertaining and hilarity ensues, and it's very lively with the chat, and they're always shouting out everybody's name and saying hi to everybody, and it's a good time. Hey, good night, God bless, Doc. We will talk to you soon, and talk to everybody else soon. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend. Read some comic books, and we will catch you all later.